So guys, the next topic is the loop in Python. As compared to the C and C++, where we have three kinds of loop: while loop, do while loop, and the for loop. In Python, we have two primitive loop commands: while loop and the for loops. So as the while loop, we know that inside the while loop, the loop is executed until a particular condition holds true. For example, in this piece of the code, my loop will continue until I has the value which is less than 6. And again, we have this indentation. So both of this statement, the first one which will print the value of I, and the next one which will increment the I, are part of the loop. And that is specified because both of them have the same spacing inside the while loop. So here in Python, we also have the break statement that you can use inside the while loop. The break statement break the loop's execution and come to the next statement after the loop. So for example, in this piece of code, I have this break statement if my value of I is equal to 3. So as long as it's 3, then the loop will be break and the next piece of the code will run. So you can see in this output that as the value reaches to the where i's value reaches to the 3, then the loop will not execute further. We also have the continue statement inside the while loop, which says that do not execute further that particular iteration, go to the next iteration. For example, here, if I is equal to 3, I will not print anything. That's why there is nothing after the printing of 2, because I said that if I is equal to 3, continue, and that's mean go to the next iteration. So we have break statement and continue statement, both of them are present inside the while loop in Python. And the next thing is the for loop, which is quite different in Python as compared to the other programming language. So the for loop which we have in Python is used for iterating over a sequence that is either a list, dictionary, tuple, set, or a string. This is like the for uh, keyword which is used in the object-oriented programming language as an iterator method. For the for loop, we can execute a set of statement once for each item in a list, tuple, set, dictionary, etc. For example, here we have a dictionary, and if we use the for loop for this dictionary, we just need to write like for X in cities, and cities is the list. So this loop will execute this list in a sequence. So the for loop in Python does not require any indexing variable to set beforehand. So you can see that here we have not specified any start value. It will start right from the start of the list as we are iterating with the help of the for loop. So we can also have the nesting for loops. That's a for loop inside the for loop. So this inner loop will be executed one time for each iteration for the outer loop, and that has to be identified again with the help of this indentation. So this nesting of the for loop is also possible inside Python. Even for the for loop, we can also specify the range. So to loop through a set of code a specified number of time, we can use the range function. The range function basically give us a sequence of number which starts by default from 0 and increments by 1 and ends at a particular number which we have already specified. For example, in this loop, we said that, okay, start from 2 and go up to the sixth iteration. For example, here it start from 2, so it started printing the value which is by default 1 and will go from 2 to 6. That means it will end before the sixth iteration. And similarly, we can also increment the sequence with a step size. For example, here I can iterate the loop starts from 2 and it will go till 30th. That means 30th is not included, and the step for each iteration is 3. So I have 2 and then 2 plus 1, 2 plus 3, 5, and 5 plus 3, 8, and it will go before the value reaches, or the iteration reaches to the range of the x value, when the x value is 30. So you can see right here that we can increment the sequence with a particular step size.